Can I just be honest and just confess a little sin, like right here on the podcast?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Right now? Are you going to look at me at all during the podcast? Or are you
I don't
just
know. I'm probably just going to look over in this direction.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
What's up? I feel like I need to open up my body language some.
Yeah, you probably do.
You know?
We're only sitting this far apart from one another because
Camera angles.
of camera. Normally, we would be on top of... Not
Whoa. This podcast, we're 1 minute and 30 seconds in. This thing's off the rails, dude.
Oh, I did
Hold on,
not
I gotta
mean it
turn
like
my
that.
mic
Oh, you know what I mean.
Wow.
Like, we would
no,
be
I'm
closer.
not sure. Why don't you explain to everybody what you mean?
Well, I think we should introduce ourselves for those who are new here, because obviously a lot has changed since we've last sat down together. But hi, I'm Chelsea, and this is my co-host, Nick.
Co-host?
We're both
Yeah.
co-hosts.
Yeah, I'm Nick. We are married.
Yes, we've been married for a while now. We actually have had a podcast in the past for those who...
We've had two podcasts.
Two podcasts, yes. So welcome to As We Are. We felt like that name was very fitting for the season that we are currently in and where we're going. So we'll share a little bit more of the vision of this podcast as we kind of go today, but it is just kind of surreal to be in our house where we live, be recording in this living room, because currently, if you are not watching the video, we are looking across from each other on a couch with our plants and lights surrounding us. Y'all, we understand why people hire podcast producers, because
Studios.
this was no easy feat. In fact, it came with a side of arguments and
one good scam.
one good scam. Oh my gosh, we have to get into that. You should share a little bit about that. That would be a great way to open up today.
Let's open up our time talking about a good scam. Who doesn't love a good scam story? So, as Chelsea and I knew that this day was approaching, that we would be restarting the As We Are starting the As We Are podcast, formerly for the OGs that are listening, Encounter Now, that then turned into a very short stint, very short-lived she was, of
Yes.
Forever Changed.
Yes.
Although she was good while she was alive.
She was.
She died young. And now the third iteration, third generation. The other podcasts do seasons, and we do
Generations.
we do full rebrands.
We're like, that's not us anymore.
So now we're As We Are, pumped about that. Anyway, let's get into the scam story. You don't care about branding. Let's talk about good scams. So we knew that we were going to be restarting the podcast. We've actually been thinking about this, praying about it for...
over a year.
Yeah, a good season of time now, just with kids, life. I've been on the road preaching more than I ever have, and starting a new business, really two new businesses. That has taken the back seat.
Very occupying of
For
time.
sure. So anyway, as we were going through all of this, we knew that we were going to need some new gear. And some new cameras, probably some new lights. Still, even like doing this today, there's some holes in our gear that I just like spotted out. I was like, oh yeah, we probably need a 50 millimeter, low f-stop lens or whatever, just stuff. And so casual me, I get on Facebook Marketplace, as one does.
Phew.
And it's where our money goes to die. And I'm not irresponsible with it. I
he's
like
normally
looking at stuff.
very.
I will look over at Chelsea like, Chelsea, what if we got this brand new Porsche? It's got like 6,000 miles on it, and we got this boat. It would only be like 190 grand. And so...
Is it in the budget?
No. Dave Ramsey is currently having a seizure as we're recording
For
this.
real?
We would never do that, by the way. Even if we
Wanted
could.
to.
Even if we could, we wouldn't. So anyway, I get on Facebook Marketplace and I'm scanning through cameras. I'm looking for like any Sony Alpha camera that's like pretty good, want a full frame, don't want a crop sensor, want a full frame sensor. And so I'm looking through like, Sony A7 Mark IIs, Sony A7 Mark IIIs. Those cameras run 12 to 1,500 if they have a lens with them, sometimes up to $2,000. And so looking around, I see this awesome Sony A7 Mark III, $600 in Atlanta.
Should have known.
It should have known, dude. And
should have known.
This guy, and I'm like one who doesn't get taken for a scam. I can smell a scam coming a mile away. Well, boy,
were you
my
tested?
nose must have been stuffed up this day because I did not smell the scam coming. So I jump on FaceTime with the guy. Like, actually, I got on FaceTime with him, and which to me is a huge green flag. Like, oh, the guy's willing to call me. Like, we had a great conversation, built a little rapport. You know, hey, whenever you send it from the post office, you know, whatever, let me know. And so anyway, go through the whole process with him, and turns out he totally fooled me.
I should have been there.
You should have been there. You had to have been there. Sent him $600 and something and totally got taken like candy from a baby. I mean, just
yep.
Worst thing ever.
And the thing about Nick is, if you know him personally.
By the way, I hope my dad is not listening to this podcast because
man.
he will track whoever this guy is down. So
Be like, you're gonna get that money back.
Yeah.
Not just that, but it's the sense of injustice. Like anytime Nick or his family members, I've seen this as kind of a value that's been held very dear to the Hurst family. When there is an injustice done to them as a family or somebody that they care about, or things across the board that are just like, you know, not right, they're not only going to call it out, but they're going to make it right. And so I think it's a reflection. It can be a small reflection of, I believe, God's justice, because obviously he is full of justice, but also mercy and forgiveness. And that's so hard to wrap my mind around, because in this scenario, I'm like, all I see from Nick right now is like, I'm going to get justice. Like, this is going to be resolved.
Dude, I was hot.
But I'm like, okay, there's currently things I think that are triggering and going off in your brain, which I think you could be honest about. Like, whenever you felt scammed, got scammed, like, if anybody's been in this scenario, you feel a little bit triggered.
I felt like a dummy. I felt so stupid. Like, how could, I mean, there's totally that sense of embarrassment. Like, oh man, this guy got me. Which, by the way, I know where this guy lives. I know his name. I know all of his relatives. I know all of his family members. Like, I don't know them, but I backtracked his number. I backtraced his number using
a service,
proprietary softwares. And so I know everything there is to know about this guy, but
and he chose to withhold.
Yeah.
Withhold.
So I didn't drive to his house in Atlanta. But if any of you are living in Atlanta and you got nothing better to do,
you can go
shoot me a DM.
Nicholas.
Just kidding.
He's just joking.
Kidding. I'm totally kidding.
But there is, I think, some beauty to that of like, okay, what is ours to deal with and what is God's to deal with? Because it's like, how do you ride that line? Because obviously you don't want people like that to be taking advantage of other people. You know, how else would he, you know, be getting caught? If we do it, you know, because maybe other people would be like us and not say anything. But it's like, okay, when you go through all the things that you can do besides go and drive to his house and confront him in person, like,
and get
what
shot
else do you do
somewhere in Atlanta, laying out in the street, bleeding to death over $600, I'll pass.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hopefully that would never happen, but that definitely has happened in the past.
It's definitely happened to someone somewhere. God rest their soul.
Well,
anyway,
that's
how
just
about today's podcast? We're off to a really great start.
Great start.
Yeah.
I think that this is really exciting, honestly. I think we should just paint a little bit of a vision of where we want to go with this podcast, because in the past, Nick and I would sit down, we would say, okay, what is the topic that we want to cover today? What's the scriptures that we kind of want to bring into this podcast? And it was very great for a season. I think that it served us really well. It served other people really well, because that's what the podcast platform was really all about at one time. But now we see a shift in not only podcasting landscape, but we see a shift in like what we want to listen to as creators. I'm like, I just want to hear a great conversation between people that I care about and that I enjoy listening to. Some of my favorite podcasts are That's the Point by Chris and I can't remember the other name. Oh my gosh,
fantastic.
I'm blanking.
Yeah, I love all of my favorite podcasts. And I don't know who does any of them. I just know that I like them.
Okay, well, everybody knows who I'm talking about who knows this podcast. I cannot, like, literally, it's so crazy that I am forgetting his name right now.
Yeah, some of my favorite podcasts are, that one podcast.
I know the content, but I forget the names.
That one guy.
Ooh, that's bad. That's really bad. So,
bad.
Anyway, the overall thing that I'm trying to share, that I'm trying to get at, Nick, is the fact that it's just so fun to listen to these people. And you have those podcasts too. Like, I mean, we've all heard of the Joe Rogan Experience. He brings guests from all different backgrounds, different walks of life, perspectives, and he oftentimes disagrees with these people on a lot of different things, but he still listens and has a conversation. And I love that about his podcast. Now, I won't listen to it on the regular because sometimes I can't really get past all the cussing, but I think that he blends culture well. He blends commentary well. He has a really great educational background in multiple different, avenues. You could probably dive even deeper on him because you just
a bio
listen to
on Joe Rogan.
You listen to him all the time.
I think you listened to all of 19 minutes ever of his podcast.
I've listened to a couple, mostly on the ones that are related to health and wellness. But I think him and then the
Sean Ryan's been great.
Sean Ryan show.
Yeah.
Our friend Josh Broom went on his show recently, and that was a powerful conversation.
Go listen to Sean Ryan's episode with Joshua Broom.
Yeah.
And, whew, man. And also Tim Tebow. I think those were back-to-back or close to it.
Probably. They are very similar in heart.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I think Nick would agree. Like, we're talking over the past year, and we're like, that's what I think a show like ours is just missing, is like the casualness of conversation mixed with the things that we care about, that we believe in, and also culture. Because there's a lot of cultural things that are happening in our world that we wonder, how do we handle as a Christian? And how do we walk this out in like a realistic way of, the practicals, rather than just like, let's go into what Scripture says. Now, definitely Scripture will be brought up in our podcast because it just kind of overflows out of our lives.
I think what you're saying is it's going to be more conversation based and not so much teaching.
Yeah.
Seminar.
Yeah.
If anything is learned, it'll just be a natural byproduct of the conversation that's had and whoever the conversation's with, whether it's you and I, whether it's with a guest, someone else.
Yes.
Some really exciting guests lined up that should be a lot of fun. But that is more of the direction that we want to go. Also, I just think it's more, what's the word I would use for this? I think it's more sustainable for a podcast as well, because the pressure, and I'm sure pastors feel this to some degree as well, but the pressure to always have to show up with something brand new every single time can be a lot. And let's be really real. I mean, there's a lot of times where, you and I are walking through what might not be the easiest season of life. Yeah. And so, we'll switch hands here, but sometimes it is essentially you're putting on to some degree whenever you're trying to come up with something new or be clever or be catchy or sound relevant to someone. And really, you're just putting on. You're not taking lessons that God has taught you through, living life, or through an event, or through getting scammed, or like whatever it is. But you're just extracting stuff, and at some point, you can kind of become a faker to a degree. Not saying that people who do teaching or people that are doing podcasts or YouTube videos like that are falling into that, but I think that you can if you're not very, very careful.
Yeah, I agree. It feels crazy to be like this far away from you on the couch, but you remember when we had that tiny little couch that I was in our first house, and we had the house with the little yellow door. We were right off the main road, so we could hear all the activity at night.
Yes.
The main reasons we moved from this one house, which we actually had Hudson in. So I had a home birth with our son Hudson and with our son Samuel, but we had Samuel in this house, Hudson in the last house. And I'm just thinking about this couch because we got a bigger couch, and I'm like, wow, we can both fit on one piece of furniture without touching our butts to each other. And I just think about, where we've been and where we are now. And I think that there's probably a lot of marriages maybe that have walked similar roads to us, that are, still together and maybe had started their relationship around the time when we started ours. And one really cool thing that recently happened to us, which we kind of wanted to celebrate with you guys, is we got out of debt, which is great. We've been following a lot of the Dave Ramsey method. And you guys might remember from a couple years ago that we got out of debt again. And we could talk about that a little bit, because I think that it is a common thing to believe, like, oh yeah, like we're out of debt, like that'll never happen again. But that is our goal, is to never ever go back into debt. But it was really tough in 2020 when we switched.
Well,
we moved here.
It wasn't even really 2020, more than it was just like renovating this house.
Yeah, but that was the kind of the set, because we went from like, we had a deal going with our current apartment where we weren't paying much compared to how we're paying now in rent. Not rent, because we have a mortgage now. But to go from having a mortgage payment to not having a mortgage payment, in our previous life.
Well, you said that backwards. Not having one to having one.
Yes. It was a big jump. And then this house had a lot of work that needed to go in it. And we thought at the time that if it's equity, being put into our house, we could pay it off and it's all good. But one thing that's changed that's been really great is now we have more reliable streams of income. But for a couple years of our marriage, we didn't. And so if you guys are in a current season right now where income is not necessarily as reliable as you would like it to be, just continue to put your heads together, collaborate, and work your butt off, because not only can you guys make incredible goals happen and achieve them, but you could be in a totally different place now or 3-5 years from now than you are currently. Just wanted to throw that encouragement in there, because we've come a long way, and I know that used to stress both of us out quite a lot. Good. Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add there? No? Has there been any tips that you think that you've learned a lot, as far as learning about money and things that Dave has shared before that's really stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a Dave thing. I mean, Dave is obviously probably top 2 or 3 voices financially that I know we listen to.
Right.
But really the goal for getting out of debt for me and then / us, I mean, we're one. I don't know why my voice is cracking like I'm 12, but
it's not. I'm not even noticing that.
Sorry. Yeah, the biggest goal for getting out of debt was honestly freeing up income to invest. And this is just what most people don't talk about with money, I would say, especially if you're young. I mean, if you've been around the block and you're watching this or you're listening to this and you're 35, you obviously know the stock market and Roth IRAs and 401ks and all that stuff. But for just the common 19-year-old who doesn't, really know a whole lot about money yet.
Yeah.
Our culture is kind of backwards in the way that we talk about money, the way that we teach money. Mm-hmm. We talk like a FICO score is a marker for financial wellness, when really it's just how much you've been interacting with debt. So everyone's shooting for an 800 credit score, but God knows how much you have to pay in interest to get an 800 credit score. So that's one thing. But the other thing is mostly just freeing up income to be able to invest that income. So if you're 19 years old and you invest $100 a month in a Roth IRA, from 19 years old to the time that you are 65, you'll have over $1 million. If you average what the stock market's average, which is a little over 11% for the last 100 plus years.
That's if you didn't change what you contributed.
That's if you never started investing more. If you, got older, 25, 35, 45 years old, you're making $90,000, $100,000, $120,000 a year, and you were never investing more than $100 a month, you're still going to come out at retirement with over $1 million. And if you're making $100,000, you should be able to invest $1,000, $1,500, $1,800 a month in those accounts. And so you run the math out with an investment calculator. Just go on Google, type in investment calculator, put where you are now. It might be $0, it might be $100,000. I don't know. Put your age, and then put in what age you want to retire, which for most people is about 65, 67, something like that. Maybe 60 if you're on the younger end, usually.
That calculator is nuts. If you just go and finagle the numbers.
Yeah, and then put in, I would say 11%. You can do 12. You can do 12% pretty easily if you just look for the right funds, which that's a whole sidebar conversation. But if you do 11 or 12%, 11.5%, whatever it is on average over about 40 years, and you put in what is realistic for you, I don't know what that is. It's probably different for everybody. Some people can do $100. Some people can do $4,000. I mean, it really varies. You will come out of retirement unless you just screw everything up. You will come out of retirement a millionaire for sure.
Yeah, and that's like encouraging, because the one thing I feel like we have not had enough conversations around, which we bring up with a lot of our close friends, is like finances and how to be financially healthy and all of that stuff. And
it amazes me how disinterested people are in financial wellness. Like they just don't care.
But I think a part of that is our culture. I mean, there's a lot of data behind this, that the USA like culture, average American, is very private about money.
Yeah.
And
well, also the average American could not afford a $1,000 emergency if it happened to them today. They couldn't pay for a $1,000 emergency in cash. If it happened, I think it's like 67% of Americans that's the case.
But that was us for a while.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I don't.
Not for a while.
I don't know if that's ever.
But
$1,000. I mean,
not $1,000, but like just.
If it was a $10,000, I mean, yeah, it'd have been.
There's been times where we definitely were not as literate as far as financial wellness. And I think that that's one thing that we're growing in. And I think that like it's been encouraging for us in our marriage to both feel like we're on similar pages, but we're also not like, one of us isn't just burying our head in a book and learning everything there is to learn. And the other person is just like, yeah, that's all you know? Yeah,
but we're different, I would say. Yeah. In how we not look at finance. I think we look at our finances and we gauge our financial wellness very similarly. I think you look at it from a pretty high level, and I think that I'm very down. Like I'm down in insurance policies.
In the weeds.
And net worth calculations, and
sometimes
what's the best HYSA for whatever. And so it was just different in that regard.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that's been cool, and something I've been excited just like talking about every day, because like once you're achieving goals together as a couple, like a lot of people talk about like how hard it is to afford children and afford a lifestyle where you have a big family and all that stuff, but a lot of people don't talk about the beauty of like working alongside of the person that you love the most and both contributing to something like that, and how much you can like achieve when you're both like working really hard together.
Yeah.
And I don't think
impact.
I don't think that a lot of like women have the same perspective that I do, because I think that a lot of the circles that I'm in, like it's a lot of women are more so taking care of the home and taking care of their children. Yeah. And I do a lot of that too.
That's awesome.
And I think that's very biblical. However, like there is a lot in scripture, even Proverbs has to say about like the savviness of the business side of the Proverbs 31 woman. And I think that that's one thing that excites me, is I've always loved business and creative projects and all of that stuff. And I think it shows that when there's collaboration between us, like our kids can see that. And I think that there's beauty in us like showing other families too, that they can show their kids how to run a business together as a couple.
Yeah. And just so we're clear, not like an Amway or an MLM.
No.
Or
that's not what I'm talking about.
What, like not, because people say business and they're basically talking about a giant scam. And and full disclosure, if you run an MLM, yes, I am judging you, and I'm unapologetic about it, and you can shut this podcast off right now, and I don't care, because MLMs are predatory and they're gross, and I think they're absolutely disgusting. And I don't like the way that they're structured. I don't like the way they run. I don't think that they're nearly as helpful as the people who make money off of them try to claim that they are. And I don't think that they're a legitimate business. I think that they have the bones of a business that someone else built, and then it's a predatory model underneath it, and then someone else gets to call it their own company. But for anyone who's actually built a company and anyone who's actually built a real business with real clients and deals with real people on a daily basis, for someone else to inherit something off the back of someone else in a predatory model like that and then call it a business is gross, in my opinion.
So Nick has a little bit of passion behind this topic, and obviously he has some stories to back that up. But I will say I was a part of an MLM for a while. Some of you guys may know that I was selling essential oils. I was part of Young Living's group. Of course, you know, back in 2020 when everybody was trying to find their thing and side gigs and all that stuff, because we were all hurting for some extra cash. I mean, the whole world shut down, basically. So we were all getting real creative. And I will say there was a lot of great friendships that came from me, like being a part of that business model. I did make a decent amount of money for a time, but I worked really hard at it for a period of time.
Let me just say this. If you had worked as hard in a traditional business model, that was good. That had a good product where it was ran by great people, good culture, ethical, all of those things. If you worked as hard as you did selling essential oils in another model, you would have made 12x the money. Guarantee it. Yeah, all the relational capital, all of the networking, all of the events, all of that stuff. I mean, could easily 12x your money.
Yeah, I think it served me, it taught me a lot. And I think that when it comes to women and these cultures of like MLMs and trying to start a business, all that stuff, I think I see why people start businesses the way they do in those structures, but I would never do it that way. I think if I were to because let's just be frank, one of my dreams is to start a makeup brand one day, and I do not think that I would ever do.
That'd be a good podcast name. Somebody should. Let's be frank.
Let's be frank.
Especially if the host name was Frank. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Somebody out there, Forrest Frank. You need to jump on that, brother.
Let's be frank. That's so funny.
I need to DM him that.
You should. I think with the makeup brand I want to start one day, I definitely am not going to put an MLM structure on it. I think affiliate marketing works. I think if somebody's like sharing an affiliate link, but I think the whole like making money off of this person who makes money off of this person and makes downlines is where it can get a little like crazy.
Yeah, because you start putting pressure on your friends, and it's just like affiliate's totally cool because like, hey, I like this product, you might like it too, and they buy from a link and they get a little kickback, whatever. But having people underneath you connected. And you make a certain amount of money, and then they make money off of you. It's just...
My goal in that business was never to make everything about Young Living. But it's when you're in those businesses... We didn't even make a lot
of money. That's the crazy thing. We didn't...
But there are a lot of people we know that did.
$9,000 total?
But we were involved with some of the higher leadership in that company.
For sure.
But what I did see was this culture infiltrating into the minds of women, like without them even knowing. So say I'm just sitting there like, I'm going to share about this recipe today, and I'm going to do this and this on my Instagram, that sort of thing. Like that all looks lighthearted and cool, but then you have a couple years like removed from it and you're like, oh wow, well that business model actually taught me that I should be viewing all of my relationships as, well, maybe one day they'll buy a starter kit from me and they'll start their own business. And like you never want to view anybody as a potential transactional.
What can I get from you? How can I use you?
And
they'll never say it that way.
Wanted that to happen, and I don't even think I knew that was happening in my mind at the time. But when you remove yourself from that situation and from that business model, you're like, oh, that actually did kind of like go into my mind a little bit, like where I was thinking that way. And you can't help it because it's just kind of the way that they train you and structure it. And I just really caution women to get into those business models because you could learn a lot of really amazing skills in other places that would serve you better long term than in the short term, because they really do try to get you on the short term success. So
and let's just call it what it is, and then we'll move on. You don't have a business. You're an employee. You're an unpaid employee. You're an unpaid commission only employee in someone else's business, and you're getting pennies of the commission. What a normal salesperson would get, 10%, maybe 15% commission based on the sales job, you're maybe getting 0.5%. So you're busting your butt selling someone else's product as an unpaid, unsalaried employee for about 0.5% to 1%, maybe 2% max. That's what we call a joke. And we've already talked about scams. That's what we call a scam.
Well, you were in sales for a while. You want to share a little bit about that? So you walked through the whole like living commission only lifestyle, and I did see you have some crazy highs and lows because like what do you expect when all of your money and all of your way of life
I moved to Atlanta when I was 19. It was 2017, and I originally actually got a job with I don't think they're in business anymore, but it was a smaller company that the bigger company called Lumber Liquidators contracted. So I wasn't working for Lumber Liquidators. I wore a Lumber Liquidator shirt, but I wasn't working for them. I was working for a company that they contracted out. And I was measuring houses really all over the Atlanta metro. So someone would want to get a new floor, new tile, new hardwood, whatever. I would go in and I would measure the space. So I would say, they need 1,200 square foot of whatever floor. They need 5 transition strips. They need whatever. And I would mark down the list and I would input it into a sheet. And then they would build out the pricing and give the person the quote. So did that for a while. I think I racked up like 70,000 miles on my car in the span of 8 months. Not even kidding. I think that's a real number.
No, you were driving all the time.
All the time. I mean, every day. God knows how many hours of podcasts I listened to. I felt like I was getting an oil change every 10 days. I mean, that's how much I was driving. Literally felt like that. So I was driving all over the place, and I was making nothing. I was making next to nothing. I think I was making like $600 or $800 a week, just nothing. And I was paying for all my gas out of pocket. So it was just an absolute joke of a job. Yeah. So I got rid of that. Went to another flooring company, still a pretty large flooring company. I'm not going to mention the name or anything, but started doing sales for them. It wasn't door-to-door sales or anything sketchy or scammy like that. People would fill out a form. They would be interested in the service. They would want someone to come out and measure their house and then present some options. And so that's what I would do. And I think I was on a flat 10 sales commission. And the thing I found out very quickly about the company I was working for is that it was very high end.
Yeah.
So it was not bottom. It was not bottom of the market. It wasn't even middle of the market. It was very high end product, very good product. I will give them their flowers. I didn't end up working there for an extended time, but very, very good product.
The people who were interested had to have the money.
And very good company too. Still, even to this day, I have a lot of respect for them. But man, it was just emotionally too much. There were some months where I would sell $150,000 worth of flooring, and I'm taking home however much money a month. And it's, I'm 19, 20 years old, and it's just like, man, I'm on cloud 9. This is the best thing ever. And then the very next month, I think I sold one $8,000 job, and I got a check for $800. And so for a kid who didn't know how to budget, didn't know left from right, up from down, about finances, about money, about how to manage money, about taxes, any of that stuff, it was just emotionally too much for me. I could probably do it now, but back then it was just way, way, way too much. So made another pivot, and I ended up selling again for AT&T in a store. I wasn't like selling people in Sam's Club. Chelsea has her own story about that.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe for another episode. But I started selling with AT&T just as a rep in a store, and I did really well with that. Part of the job was salary, part of it was commission. So it was a really good blend.
Nice because the consistency was reliable.
Yeah. So I did really well with that, and that was a lot of fun. Obviously had great days and not great days, but
right.
It was a fun season.
Yeah, and so now work has changed a lot. I mean, obviously we're not living off of commissions only anymore.
Yeah.
But when we first got married, it was just a lot of figuring things out and doing life together while being used to only ever paying your own bills and all that stuff. It's just such a like shift. And so now I think we shared a little bit about this. Like online, we have a marketing company that we both run together where we service like more so local business clients.
Local service businesses. Just hired our first employee yesterday outside of you and I. And so it's fun.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And then we are also in a good bit of ministry. So our whole entire summer has been like, Nick is gone for a week, then he's back with our family, and then he's gone for a week and back with our family. And then while he was also gone, I was trying to find sitters and people to help so that I could speak down the street at a university at a summer camp that goes for
6 weeks
long.
Yeah.
And so that was like a really big full blast into speaking because it's been over 6 years since I was speaking on a stage.
Yeah, on stage, yeah.
And so that was a really big shift, but it was really cool to be able to share the same message every week and then just like tweak it a little bit every time. And then Nick actually helped me with my outline and then forming the whole like message on just my Word doc, because the one thing that nobody really teaches you when you get into like message prep and all that stuff, if you're in it, it's so many different ways of philosophies of how to create a message, how to structure things, if you should pray before this, if you should get into the text before that. And so it was great to get a little bit of structure and help from Nick. So thanks again for helping me out with that, because that was definitely daunting.
I have fumbled my way through God knows how many sermon outlines trying to learn to preach. So to be able to help you skip some of the pain and struggle, happy to do it.
But it was nice. I mean, our lifestyle, we were just talking about this the other day. We're like, some days we feel lazy because we're spending time with our family and we're like, everybody else is at a 9 to 5, but then the week before that it's like nonstop travel and we're doing things on odd hours of the day, and it's just not a predictable schedule. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this just it's hard to describe our work lifestyle. But
I mean, for example, for me, I have been going, I mean, for really honest, basically since January. I mean, DNL's, winter conferences, driving through the night to get to the next one. I mean, literally got off stage in Georgia, jumped in an SUV, and drove 6 hours straight to a hotel, got to my hotel room at 2 a.m., woke up at 6:30, did a sound check at 7, and then was on stage for the next one at 8:30.
Yeah.
And so and then 3-hour drive back home, and, you know, you kind of reorient your bearings for 2, 3, 4 days and then back, you know, on to the next one. So it's not a classic 9 to 5. I'm not sitting in an office behind a desk for 8 hours a day, but the intensity, I would say, is it's like full go for a week straight at a time. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you might be off for a week. And you're gone from home, and like you're not sleeping in your bed, and you might be 2 hours away, you might be across the country, and you don't know.
Majority of the events have been in the South, which has been kind of nice that you're not super far away. Yeah. But one thing I think is so cool that we can both kind of share together is that we've seen over 2,000 students, or young people, I guess you could say, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like say yes to walking with God the rest of their life. And I just think a lot of us have testimonies like that where we went to a summer camp or we went to a D-Now weekend or we went to a church event and the preacher just shared about like what it means to be a believer, what the gospel is, and our lives apart from God. And like it just the lights turn on, like it just clicks. And I just think about all of those people that we've encountered this summer, and that's like what we want to do the rest of our lives. And it looks different for both of us. I mean, I like to say that, Nick has very specific giftings. I have very specific giftings, but then us together is also very unique. And so it's been cool to like walk alongside each other in that like unique shared vision, but also in, the unique things that God's doing with us too. And it's just been really, really sweet. I'd love to hear, like, if there's anybody who's listening right now, if there's any cool stories that you guys have over the summer of, like, whether you had a friend that, like, started walking with the Lord or, like, a cool God story, like, share with us on our Instagram because we'd love to share those maybe on our next podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
Speaking of ministry, there's another cool little
What's that?
announcement coming soon.
Oh. I'm blanking on what you're even referring to right now.
Don't worry, it'll come to you.
Okay.
You've got so much in your little brain that
I have so many
would not
things.
shock me at
so
all
many little
if that
pockets.
is not coming to you. But yeah. Chelsea is so lost.
I'm
She's
like,
just sitting here looking at me like I've got 4 eyes.
What are you even talking about? But yes, it's so exciting.
Yes, it's so exciting. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh man.
What else? What's up with you? Why don't you go ahead and just like piss off the world with your shirt?
Oh man. I sometimes think about people's perceptions of the word PISS off.
Oh.
And so when you said that, I was like, man, some people internalize that as a cuss word and some people don't. But yes, my shirt I got at a conference with Lisa Bevere.
What's it say? Show everybody what it says.
The future is male and female, because those shirts that are popular that just say the future is female.
Why don't you explain to us?
We need males too.
Explain to us exactly what that means.
Exactly what this means?
Explain it to us, all the nuance of what it is.
In the feminist movement, there's been a rise of saying we only need females, we only need like girl power, like we could basically run this whole world if we needed to on our own. And I'm like, dude, there's so much that guys do that we need. We need fathers, we need husbands, we need oil rig workers, we need people who cut steel. Like, I don't see very many women doing all those jobs. We very much need men, and I am not afraid to admit that we need men. I don't think it's weak or weird to admit that our culture deeply needs men. And so Lisa Bevere, when she made this shirt, she was talking about how one of her sons came to her one day and they were having a conversation around the future is female, like that statement. And he said, I gotta admit, Mom, I feel very much like I'm unwanted when I hear that statement. And he may have said it a little bit differently. I might not be saying it verbatim, but essentially the fact was that males feel like unseen, unwanted from society because there's a big movement that is basically telling them that they're unseen or not wanted. And so I think that actually really can contribute to the rise that we see in males taking their own lives.
Yeah.
These days.
I mean, I'm sure. I think the toxic masculinity stuff as well was probably a part of that too, which I think a lot of that's dying down now. I mean, that conversation is becoming less and less and less prominent. I mean, you just don't hear as much about it anymore. And I think that everyone kind of caught on. Well, probably not everyone, but I think that a lot of people caught on to the nonsense of it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think by and large we've probably moved beyond that, I would say. Yeah. But that's really cool. I mean, honestly, that's a very powerful story from her perspective, because I mean, yeah, I could see how the young dude got there.
Definitely. I mean, our culture is so, I mean, we know that the introduction of technology has completely shifted our culture, but aside from loneliness of people kind of isolating themselves, there's like so many different elements of, maybe you didn't even ask or think about all these things I would bring up when you're asking about my shirt, but I mean, it's true. I mean, we have a hypersexualized culture. We have a hyper...
I think porn is one of the biggest problems in our culture, especially our generation today. And I mean, the rise of digital and the rise of technology was so fast that there were basically no safeguards, no guardrails for any of that. And then also there's no generation that came, I mean, there's a generation that came before us, but there's not a generation that came before us who lived in technology and grew up in technology the way that we have. Like, we're really the first generation, like you and I, like mid 1990s, probably even early 1990s, mid 1990s, late 1990s kids, early 2000s kids who have gone into adulthood with basically no guardrails around pornography, online pornography. And so we're basically going to have to be the models to our kids coming up behind us, because it's not just going to go away all of a sudden, but we're going to have to be the model to our kids of, okay, here's the guardrails, here's lines you don't want to cross, not because of like legalism, but because God has better for you, and safety, and I mean all kinds of things. So
yeah, I agree. Our babysitter's texting us about what the boys can eat at Chick-fil-A, so I'm just sending them a little text.
You're just saying ice cream, just lots and lots of ice cream.
Not ice cream. I'm like, get a fruit cut for Samuel, and then Hudson can have fries. But
can I just be honest and just confess a little sin, like right here on the podcast?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Right now?
Not a big waffle fry.
Oh
guy.
Boy. Y'all, whenever Nick says that statement, my heart literally drops into my stomach. And it's not even the fact that, like, my mind's going to, like, the worst of the worst place. Maybe that's a little bit of part of it. It's, like, always assuming it's going to be the worst confession ever. But I don't know why I'm not a worst case scenario thinker, but whenever somebody says, can I be honest, they just like build up a whole case before they share what they're going to share. I'm like, if it's really like a casual confession, just like throw it out, Yeah.
Well, that was all I had. I'm just not a big waffle fry guy.
You're not a big waffle
So,
fries.
little hack for you guys. This is a real thing. I promise I'm not going to send you to a Chick-fil-A and you're going to ask and you're going to look dumb. I promise I would not do that to you. I am your friend. You can, to some, not all of them will do it, but most will. I found that probably about 80% of Chick-fil-A's will do it. But you can ask for your fries to be well done. And they'll do it, and they're a bit more crispy.
But barely any of them do that anymore.
I don't agree. I think that like 8 out of 10 do it.
Really?
Yeah, basically 80% of the ones that I go to, because I'm on the road a lot, and so I'm always like popping through Chick-fil-A's. A lot of them will do it, and I swear they are so much better. In my humble personal opinion, I think that they are so much better. And if you don't agree with me, that is completely okay. You reserve the right to be wrong.
A lot of people don't like Chick-fil-A. I think...
Which honestly, I can also see that.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I'm just being facetious here and just joking around, but Chick-fil-A is like, I mean, it's good.
It's mid.
Yeah, it's not
I think a lot of so I will just say, most of the fast food chains, no matter how their branding is, no matter how great they look, it's just pumped up with chemicals.
Ooh, you better not talk about Five Guys like that. You better not.
But I think we can
talk
both agree that our fave is Five Guys.
Well, I don't even know. Is Five Guys really fast food? Because there's no drive-thru. You literally have to get out of your car and walk in the building. I mean, that's...
It's pretty fast, but it's not, it's not like you're going through a drive-thru.
Yeah, it's not like Burger King.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that they definitely use chemicals like on their buns and their thing. Yeah, I think they do. But I've heard that their meat is like decent quality. And it's not Waterburger, so...
Yeah.
you're already winning there. When you get a Waterburger burger and it comes out on those buns, you know that those buns have been like preserved in
Them buns
the most
got glyphosate in them things.
Got
boy.
something on them.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this.
Sure.
InNOut or what's the big debate? Is it Waterburger or InNOut? Is that the debate that people talk about?
InNOut or Waterburger?
Yeah.
I think they compare those typically.
I think they do.
But I think that we both
InNOut, and it's not even close.
love InNOut.
InNOut is so good.
Honestly, I think I like Five Guys more than InNOut.
Oh, I totally do. But I can go to InNOut and I can get a double, a shake, and a drink with a fry, and I can spend
cheap.
$2.04. If I go to Five Guys and I even think, just a thought runs through my head of getting a double bacon cheeseburger, that alone, just thinking it inside of a Five Guys is $8. I mean, just having the thought. Then you get to the counter and you ask for the burger, the fry, and the Cajun fry, of course, because we don't do regular fries because we're saved. We're Christians. And we love Jesus. And so you get the Cajun fry if you go to Five Guys. And then, you get a little drink.
Is it because Jesus is dark?
Jesus, what?
Jesus is not light skinned. That's why you get Cajun.
Moving on. Let's get that one back on the rails. Okay.
Well, I was trying to see how you compare Jesus to seasoning, but anyway.
Yeah,
Do you even have a reason?
That's great.
No?
No, it's called humor.
Great.
You get the Cajun fry, you get a little drink, and you get to the register, and it is $317 and your left arm. And
that's facts.
It's expensive. It'd be expensive.
They do have free peanuts.
Yep.
Yep.
They do have free peanuts indeed. You can get like that little tray where you put the peanuts on. You can get about 2.4 peanuts on that entire little tray.
The other night when I was picking up our Five Guys, because this is a regular occurrence for us.
We literally got 2 burgers. It was $40.
It was $40, but when I was waiting on them was I waiting on them for anything? No, it was already ready. I just went in and I got peanuts, and I scooped it up with a little tray, and then I put it on top of your fries.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
And I was eating it out of the top, and I was hoping that the shells wouldn't fall on your fries. But I also ate some of your fries, but you would never know because...
No, I knew. There's always about...
No, I never eat them out of the bucket.
No, I know. I'm saying there's always about 104,000 fries in the bottom of the bag. That just turns into a big pile of grease. And I knew that when I looked in the bag and I only saw about 40,000 fries in the bottom of the bag, that you had eaten a large majority.
Okay, but everybody has to tell us.
I don't believe in shaming people.
If you are a Waterburger person, why?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
And if you are an InNOut person,
amen.
Praise. But if you are a Five Guys person, just put Five Guys in your emoji.
It's like the parable.
Comment right now.
It's like the parable of the talents, but guys. It's like, are you a one guy? Are you a one talent? Are you one? How would you phrase it? Are
talent.
You a 1, 3, or 5? It's like, no, Lord.
Do you expand your talents?
5.
Or do you just keep it all to yourself? Because I believe these Five Guys are hardworking.
I think
one of them's working on the shakes.
Yep.
The other one's working on the fries. The other one's working on the burgers. Somebody's messing with the soda machine.
And then someone's taking all your money.
And then somebody's
taking all your money.
And sweeping. Because they have to sweep up those floors quite a lot.
It would be. Let's get into a conspircy. I think we should get into a good... We're almost at an hour.
Wow.
I think we should get into one good conspiracy before we go.
Wow.
Man, we didn't talk about the Bible. We talked a little bit about the Bible, but should we talk about
It's
Bible?
just been a while since we've sat down and
done this. All right. I'm just going to come right out and say it.
What are you going to say? I
think that Mattress Firm is a money laundering operation.
Oh, wow. This is taking a hard left turn, right out of the gate. We were talking about burgers. Now we're talking about mattresses.
Oh, well, I don't know. Are we going to get is Mattress Firm going to come after us for defamation of the company?
I don't know. Nobody tagged them.
I think a brand that sells
Mattress.
beds that's
It's not in the
goes
name.
by the acronyms MF. That could also go wrong. That could also go...
Golly.
Yikes. Hey, that's on them. I didn't name their company.
Yeah. Okay, this is not defamation because we don't have legitimate claims against
No,
them.
I'm not claiming it is.
This is not truth. This is
No,
not truth.
I'm not
People
claiming
can
it is.
share things that they
I'm just
believe
thinking.
that
I'm
like
just thinking.
maybe could be true, but like maybe they're not.
I'm just thinking out loud. And I'm just thinking out loud, like, why are there 19 locations? And
they're always next to another mattress
Yeah,
store
and
that have actual customers.
no, that's the thing. None of them ever have customers.
No, the
though.
other ones sometimes do, like Serta or Tempur-Pedic stores.
I've never seen a Serta. Or
Okay,
Tempur-Pedic
I don't
store.
think there's a Serta
Maybe I
store,
don't-
but there's
maybe
a
I don't have my eyes
Tempur-Pedic.
open. Maybe that's next to the Five Guys that I've never been to. But I've never seen a Serta or a Tempur-Pedic store. But I've seen a lot of Mattress Firms. I've seen a bunch of them, and there is never a single.
Okay, so
person
clarify
inside
what
of those
money
things.
laundering is.
I mean, I don't know that I can fully even.
Oh, you think we should stop?
It's basically when someone's making a lot of money, and they need to put that, as I understand it. Maybe someone else is a illegal money laundering expert who's listening to the podcast today that I need to take notes from. But as I understand it, money laundering is essentially funneling funds, illegally sourced funds, through a business, and then counting that money that comes out of that business as profit or income, and which looks legitimate on a tax form. And so obviously I don't think that they're laundering. Wow, I can't talk anymore. I don't think that they're laundering money, but I do just find it very odd and interesting that there are 39 locations and 6 square miles of real estate in
So
any
you're not making
metropolitan
any claims.
city. No, I'm not making any claims at all. I'm just simply making an observation that I think is that is at worst suspect.
Okay.
And well, no, I would say at best suspect, and at worst something beyond suspect. But I don't know. Maybe they're just doing legitimate business where no one is buying their product at all, and they're somehow able to stay open and pay employees and open new locations at a seemingly nonstop rate. And maybe I just don't get it. Maybe you know what, Chelsea? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I just don't understand.
Maybe they're getting a lot of online orders.
Honestly, that could just be what it is.
They just have their showroom.
Maybe Mattress Firm is an MLM, and maybe everyone who is opening a mattress firm, like, that's just like their business.
Interesting. There's a lot on Reddit about this.
If you don't think about that at all, it makes total sense.
I'm just gonna
just be like, yeah, oh yeah, I totally
read
believe you.
Reddit and take it as truth. I'm just gonna read all of the threads of what everybody thinks and just be like, yeah, I agree with that.
Totally.
You know how many? So speaking of Reddit, I don't know how long this podcast is gonna go, but I'm just thinking about all the creators that have gotten crazy hate through Reddit forums. Have you ever heard of all of the... So back in the day, whenever I was
What, were you a Reddit troll?
No. I've never engaged in any of that stuff.
Why are you so defensive? You seem very defensive. Are you lying?
Because I'm about to change the subject slightly.
Oh, okay.
There was this website, and I cannot remember the website for the life of me right now, but it was basically a website for beauty guru hate, where everybody who did not like
beautyguruhate.com?
No, it was something really clever, but there was this website where there were just floods of comments of hate on beauty gurus at the time, back 2012, 2013, 2014. I think it went into 2015. But just envision a 13, 14-year-old girl like myself starting out on YouTube, going onto this website and just reading pages of just hate. I don't like the way her forehead looks. It's just way too big. You see how hairy her arms are? Just the most absolutely ludicrous things that you would say about somebody, but also people that I like watched as a younger girl online receiving just countless amounts
Getting
of hate.
raked over the coals.
And some people would come up with the most bizarre scenarios, like, oh, maybe the reason that they're this way is because they're actually going through a divorce, and like we looked up the legal history of this, and this, and I'm like, people are nosy. Like, I feel like with influencer culture, or like people who create online, there are people who feel, because they make their lives public, entitled to go and even look up like legal paperwork and history and all of their business online.
I mean, it's public record.
It is public record,
right,
but I'm like,
they want
wow,
to.
like people really are nosy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a very big waste of time.
I know. And I think
you could be building an MLM downline with all that time.
I think it just reminds me of like how unbothered you become when you're a Christian, because I think that ever since we've been married, you and I have slowly like moved away from any circle of gossip, any circle of like,
yeah, it's my pet peeve,
hate on anybody. Like, and we were, without even asking, kind of like in those circles before we got married, not in them like voluntarily, but like just, we had no choice. Like, they were just in some of the circles that we were in. And now that we've made a lot of choices.
Let's pause right here and just say, if you gossip about people, stop that.
I just
stop it.
think there's a reason
Today,
it's
stop talking about people behind their backs. Stop it.
Yeah, just
Anyway.
a nice, lovingly, like fatherly correction
in the
right
rant.
now. I think there's a reason that scripture talks about that so much. I mean, it literally talks about gossip in scripture.
I think it points
as a
to
way
insecurity
to
of the
rot
heart.
the inside of your bones.
I think it points to someone is so deeply insecure about who they are or their lack of success that they have to go and down talk other people when they're not present. And then when those people are present, they either ignore them and don't say anything, or act like they're, they're besties for the resties. And that's gross.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I ever hear somebody that's close to me that is talking about somebody else behind their back, immediate red flag. I'm like, not only are you talking about those people behind your back, but you're showing me as a friend
how
that
vulnerable
you are okay
Yep.
with my name being brought up when I'm not there and saying
Yeah.
a bunch of negative stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't give you permission to do that.
If you gossip about people, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's
At
so
all.
like Nick and I have talked about this so much, kind of like, in our own time.
And let me say this, even because, I can feel it. You ever feel it? It's like, I know I preach for a living. I feel like I'm about to get on it. This is what we say. It's not gossip if it's true. You ever heard that?
I've heard of
It's
that.
not gossip if it's true. What do you think?
It makes me a little angry inside.
Let's hear it. Let's explore that anger.
First of all, truth to the widespread world means a million different things.
Because here's what people say. Let me give you. Let me be. I don't like devil's advocate, but that they say, well, it's not gossip if it's truth. It's just the sharing of information. We're just sharing true information. It'd be just like you watching the news, which is known for its truth. It's like we're just broadcasting truth to everyone. So in fact, we're not gossiping. We're not doing a disservice. We're actually doing the world a big favor by letting everybody know what is true and what is not.
Mm.
And I'll be honest, I can see both sides to that.
And we can be upfront and say, like, yeah, it's not like we have never gossiped in our life.
No, totally.
Like,
we totally have.
We definitely have done that before and felt extremely convicted and was like, that's not something we want to do anymore.
Yeah.
But sharing of information, I just don't think that that is true, because once you open up the door to talking about somebody else in a way where they're not present, or
well, I don't know. Like, I could see it going both ways, because like if I don't know, if someone's coming to my kid's birthday party and I don't know a person who's coming, and that guy who's coming that RSVP'd, just got out of jail for being, a sexual predator to minors.
Okay, well, that's a little different.
I mean,
it's
but
like,
what I'm saying is, like, it can go.
Where do you find the line?
Yeah, it's like it can go. I mean, how far do you want to take it before it's like,
right.
Okay, well, I don't know. I kind of do need to know that,
Yeah, but it's like, it would be different if you open up that conversation and then say, oh yeah, I've heard that, blah blah blah, and what about their family, like, and then just like opened up an entire can of worms of just like continuing down that train of thought of like, oh, I wonder this, blah blah blah. I think that's where the Holy Spirit is such a help, because it's like, have you ever said something and caught yourself mid-air or mid-sentence while you're saying it, and the Holy Spirit's telling you, like, stop it right there?
Like 24,000 times a day.
There's been so many times where
and somehow I bet 38 of them have still gotten through on this podcast.
But I think that's what it is with gossip and sharing information. Is like, you find that line by being in tune with, like, God, like, I am submitted to you daily. I want to know, when is the line for me to stop?
What I think is, and again, this is what I think. So this is just Nick's dumb thoughts. Like, you don't need to take
Not
this
always
as
dumb.
gospel.
Sometimes
obviously. But, like, would I be saying this if this person was sitting right here? If they were sitting right next to me, would I be saying, and not even saying about them what I'm saying, but would I be saying what I am saying?
Yeah.
Did that make any sense at all?
No, the way you phrase it made it sound kind of...
Yeah. So not necessarily talking about even them, but just how I'm speaking in general. Or maybe I am speaking about them. But would I be sharing the information that I'm sharing about this person? Or if they were sitting here, do I think that they would have, like, a rebuttal? Like, yeah, well, that that you're not telling the full story, or something like that. And I've just learned more often than not to just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
And someone might be talking about someone, and I know 10 times more about the story than they do. Or maybe they know a lot more about it than I do, which often, often happens too. But I've just learned to just sit there and nod my head and just go, wow. I just give them the old, wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I just play dumb and act ignorant and go on about my life. And then also, I try to show when someone is gossiping about someone else and I'm around them, I try to just act very disinterested in what they're saying, because they think that they sound awesome for having all of this information about someone else, and I just, well,
yeah,
cool.
Well, and some people say a lot of untrue things that can sound true.
Yeah, to build social credibility.
Yeah. Let me check our camera really fast.
You do that. You check that camera. So Chelsea's getting up right now. She is checking a camera. We can put a bow on this thing. I mean, we're an hour and 12 deep. Joe Rogan does 3.
I don't know how I guess if he has nothing better to do, like, it's just like,
well,
his
he's also got a very comfy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here like, we haven't been able to, like, turn on our fan or, like, having any, like, normal flow because these mics pick up every little thing. So we have to kind of silence certain things that normally move in our house to keep us like cool and stuff. But it is hot, y'all. I don't know where you live in the world, but we're in South Carolina, and it has been in the hundreds until it's, like, dark outside at night.
Past dark. Well, not in the hundreds, but it's well into the 80s, like high 80s.
Majority of the world doesn't go by Fahrenheit, but it is hot.
Yeah, mucho caliente.
So I guess we could end the podcast by sharing, like, a joy of the week that has been awesome, and then maybe a low of the week.
We don't want to end on a low.
Well, let's start with the low, and then we can end with the joy.
Know. This kind of seems like something you should do on the intro, don't you think?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can just share a joy then.
Okay, hit us.
Hit us with a joy?
Yeah, I got that joy.
A joy bump. We want to know about y'all's joys, too.
Oh, Chelsea.
Sorry.
Come on.
What?
You're like, what's that? Stalling. You're like stalling.
I'm stalling. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, a true joy, because I thought that you were going to maybe share your joy first, but I'll go ahead and share my joys. I'm thinking about Almond Joys right now, and honestly, Almond Joys are
so good.
Trash.
Oh.
Well. I guess we can end now.
Yeah, we'll have a brief little. We'll have some intense fellowship.
Some hashing out.
Yeah.
I think one of my joys this week was the past week. Samuel has been saying a lot more words. So Samuel is our second boy of our family. And for a little bit of time, we thought maybe that he had a slight speech delay, but he very much does not have a speech delay. He is just a second born. And his brother is very talkative. And so lately he's been starting to say a lot more words. And so recently, anytime we like leave a room somewhere or somebody's leaving, he just says, "Bye." He like says it so loud and proud. And normally, like the past months before this, he would say like, "Bye." Or like,
bye, like
or like, "Bye." And he's just enunciating words better.
Oh, and then when he says clear. Mommy, he doesn't go like mommy, like standard. I don't know when kids learn to talk, they say mommy. But I guess he got imported from England and we didn't know. But it's mommy. So
we
really
crack
funny.
up at it because for
awesome.
the longest time he's just been saying dad, daddy. Like he would say all that, and then it took him a long time to say like mommy with a Y at the end, and now it's coming out mommy. It's just so cute.
He'll iron it out, but it's super cute.
So that was like one of my joys. I just took him to a hearing appointment this morning because we thought maybe he could have something going on with his hearing, but his ears work perfect. So
perfect.
That's God. Really great.
Very, very thankful for that.
But I'd love to know your joy.
Yeah, watching those two grow and mature, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, being a dad is the best thing ever. Yeah, I saw about 130 students last week, and then about another 40 respond to the gospel at an event.
Wow.
And that's just the best. This week has actually been 13 years since I gave my life to Jesus. So July 26th, 2012 was the day that I responded to the gospel and a call to ministry. Wow. And it's been the best thing in the world. Just walking with Jesus for, entering like well into decade number 2, which is nuts.
Wow.
But man, best thing ever. So I've almost spent more of my life now following Jesus than I did without him. About another year and a half. So just the best thing ever. Loving every minute of it.
We've been in a relationship with Jesus individually, and together.
How old were you? 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too.
So we pretty much have been Christians for around the same amount of time.
Was it 2012 or 2013 for you? I'm like 6 months older than you, so I'm trying to iron out those timelines. But
what was it, 2013 for you?
No, it was 2012 for me, summer of 2012. So I'm thinking it would have been late 2012 or early 2013 for you.
I think
if it was a D now, it was probably spring of 13 for you.
Yeah, it was a little later because I was actually a high schooler, I believe. No, maybe I was in middle school. Maybe I was in 8th grade. You would
have probably been 8th grade going to 9th grade because that's what I was. But it was probably spring of 2013 for you because they don't run D-Nows in the summer or the fall or winter.
Yeah.
So,
well, similar timeline.
Yeah, that's probably right on the nose. And also your birthday is in March.
Yeah.
So you would have been 13 when I was 14. So you would have probably become a Christian very shortly after you turned 14, if I had to guess.
Which is wild. So it's been, you said 13 years for you?
Yep, 13 years for me.
13 years for you.
Yep.
And we're coming up on 7 years of marriage.
That's crazy.
We'll end on us painting the most beautiful picture of what our desire is for year number 7. Year number 7 is going to be a Europe trip.
Year of perfection.
Year number 7 is going to be visions, baby, on the mountaintops of Italy. Let me just say.
Hallelujah.
It's going to be a gratin, as they say.
A gratin. All right. Well, love y'all.
You don't just wrap it up like that.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening. I mean, I could. This is my podcast. I
clear
can do whatever I want to do, dude.
It's so clear you haven't been here in a while. Well, I will say one thing.
We need some little tagline, like going out. Like,
yeah, we will.
You know, we need to work on that. We need to get some assistant. If we had an assistant, we'd put our assistant on.
Yeah,
working on that.
Go ahead and cue the Aussie lady at the end.
Thank you for listening to As We Are.
I'm thinking of that Jet Set Holiday
Yeah.
jingle that's gone viral lately. That was
Nothing
so
beats
funny.
a Jet 2 holiday. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There was a proposal video I was just fed on Instagram, like on my feed.
And right now,
It was an old couple coming into the shot of him doing a surprise proposal.
oh no.
And they were just eating their chocolate bar right in front of the shot.
Oh, dude, I hope that went viral.
It did.
Oh, good.
It went so viral. I did want to leave everybody here with a little bit of a resource that they could download that's free that we've really
totally
been enjoying. There is like a customized devotional app that I've been using and costs nothing. Really, really like it because it is AI integrated, but it's not the creepy, weird, bad version of AI that you guys envision. They use all Bible and biblical literature as the source of their AI. So they're like giving you personalized like devotionals every single day based off of like who you are, what you care about, your daily life. And it's all, you know, from scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been so helpful. So I've really loved the Devote app. And I just wanted to share that in here because it's been a while since we've shared any resources or anything that we've been.
And download that bad boy.
Yeah.
We don't get a kickback.
No, we don't get a kickback. But we have a pretty good relationship with the guy who founded it. And we've been sharing some feedback. And he's been really just thankful for that, and we've been going back and forth about it. So
their heart is really good. Theology is solid. They do a really good job with Devote. Like it a lot. Really, really good app.
It is great. So we have so much we want to share with you guys on the podcast coming up. Like, we cannot wait for more and more. We've got really great guests coming in this week. We're going to try to, record a couple. So we will definitely share that with you guys soon. But as for now, this is our first episode back. And we're super grateful that you listened all the way through. It's a little bit longer, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
Let us know if you like the longer form or if you cannot stand more than 30 minutes of having me playing in your car. Because I can understand that.
Nicholas.
I can resonate.
He tends to be a self-critic, but he's even growing in
in
grace for himself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Amen.
Because you're amazing.
And
I love you very much.
I just got out of therapy yesterday. That came out wrong. I left my therapist's office yesterday because I don't live there. That's what I meant. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up.
I literally said he can be a critic of himself. Yeah, I just got on therapy yesterday.
Yeah, I left it. It's not for me. It's like, dude, if anyone needs to be in therapy, it is you. So.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
this was fun. We
love
will
you guys,
see you guys.
For real. Thank you for, just even support for the OGs back in the old days. Over 100 episodes we did.
Yes.
And so just believing that was just the first.
The first fruits.
Yeah, just the first fruits and first quarter of the game. Got a long way to go.
We're tapping in again.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys. See you later.
See you in the next one.
Bye.